Hello students. So today we are going to take a look at the MCQs. These MCQs are for additional English. Additional English for FY BCom. So let's take a look at the first MCQ, and this is from the first chapter, Playing the English Gentleman by M.K. Gandhi himself. And the first MCQ reads like, what did Gandhiji's friend exclaimed after Gandhiji left the Holborn restaurant? You have to be very precise. You have to read each and every line carefully from the book so that you are able to answer this MCQ very easily. And I have given the 4 options. First one is, you are too clumsy for the decent society. Second is, you are too careless for the decent society. Third one, you are too lazy for the decent society. And fourth one, you are too shy for the decent society. And the correct option is, you are too clumsy for the decent society. This is the remark given by Gandhiji's friend. But this didn't spoil Gandhiji's friendship with his English friend. Please remember this. Okay. The next one is, why did Gandhiji realize that he should leave the false idea of becoming a gentleman? Now I have framed a question posing with the word why. You have to answer this on the basis of your comprehension, whatever you could understand. I have given the 4 options. Because he wanted to impress his friends, because he hated the English culture, because he wanted to return to India. And the fourth one is because he realized that he was in London to qualify himself at the Inns of Court. So these are the 4 options. And the correct option is, of course, because he realized that he was in London to qualify himself at the Inns of Court. So remember that Gandhiji's ambition was to practice at the Inns of Court as a lawyer, as a practitioner of law. Okay, and he had been to London to study, not to impress his Englishmen or not. He never wanted to fit in the English society. So this is how he realizes that his main ambition is to practice at the Inns of Court. Okay. The next MCQ is, which metaphor describes the poem All the World's a Stage best? Now, All the World's a Stage, this is a brilliant poem by William Shakespeare. It's taken from the drama As You Like It. And for your information, I would like to tell you that the speaker of these lines, All the World's a Stage, is a cynical clown, and that clown is called as Jakes. Okay. So All the World's a Stage has basic metaphor. The metaphor of life and stage is that the metaphor that human beings are only the actors. Third option is the metaphor of life as a play and humans as the actors. And fourth one is none of the above. The correct option is the metaphor of life as a play and humans as the actors. So this is the basic metaphor. Metaphor means indirect comparison is made with life and humans. So life is compared with a play and humans are compared as the actors. Moving over to the next MCQ, what is referred to as the second childishness? Remember, certain adjectives, second childishness, this is the adjective, and you will come across this adjective when you read the poem from the drama As You Like It, and the title of the poem is All the World's a Stage. Okay, so second childishness is an adjective which will come in the poem All the World's a Stage. Okay, so what is referred to as second childishness? Is that infancy? Is that immaturity, ignorance, or old age? Correct option is old age. Old age is referred to as the second childishness. Fifth question is MCQ. What has been the result of the systems of capitalism? So this question arises from the chapter, as you all know. It's a famous chapter. And what has been the result of the systems of capitalism? The first option is the environment is being degraded at an alarming rate. More and more things are made on massive scale than required. The peasants have lost all their right over their land, and it has caused wars over the natural resources. And the correct option is more and more things are made on a massive scale than these are required. When wealth accumulates and men decay. So this is a brilliant essay by G.B. Shaw, where he states how this capitalism has ruined the society, and how more and more things are made on massive scale even if they are not required. So this is the correct option. This is the result of systems of capitalism, is that more and more things are made on massive scale. The sixth MCQ reads like, which of the following types of clothes are not mentioned in the essay? Wealth accumulate and men decay. So which type of cloth is not mentioned? Is it wool? Is it merino wool, linen or silk? What is it? It's linen. Because linen was a cloth which was made much more after. Okay, it was made in recent 19th, 20th century. So linen is not mentioned when G.B. Shaw wrote this essay. Okay. Next MCQ is from the poem My Grandmother's House by Kamala Das. How is the grandmother's house portrayed in the present? So this question is from the famous poem by Kamala Das, and the title of the poem is My Grandmother's House. I have given 4 options. You please take a look at this word. How is the grandmother's house portrayed in the present? Is it portrayed as a beautiful and warm house, as a lonely house, as a house where sun doesn't shine, or all of the above? What is the correct option? The correct option is as a lonely house, because in the present, Kamala Das feels that this house is deserted, it's lonely, it's cold and dry, and it's dark because it lacks warmth, love and affection, and its caretaker, her dear grandmother, has passed away. So there is no one to look after that house. That's why that house is defined as lonely house in the present situation. Okay. This is the next MCQ. When does the house seems to be cold and dark? I have given 4 options. When does it seem to be cold and dark? Due to lack of love and warmth, due to the death of grandmother, due to extreme cold weather, or due to cold weather and lack of electricity. So the correct option is due to the death of grandmother. The next question is from the wonderful story, and this wonderful story is written by Saki, H.G. Munro. Okay, H.G. Munro's name is Saki, and he describes a teenage prankster Vera. So this is the open window. The title of the chapter is Open Window. The writer is Saki. Okay. What does Frampton know about Mrs. Sappleton? This is the question from the open window written by Saki. And 4 options are nothing at all. Frampton doesn't know nothing at all about Mrs. Sappleton. And he knows that she was married, her only name and address, that she was a widow. And the correct option is that he knew only her name and address. Mr. Frampton didn't know who Mrs. Sappleton was. And so Vera the prankster goes on to entertain Frampton in a very rude manner. So next MCQ is regarding the open window itself. Frampton tries to change the subject while talking to Mrs. Sappleton by talking about. Choose the correct option. Is it the prospects of ducks in the winter? Is it the open window? Is it his medical condition, or tea and biscuits? So what does he speak about? He speaks about his medical condition. Frampton tries to change the subject while talking to Mrs. Sappleton by talking about his own medical condition. Remember, he has bad nerves. That means he gets annoyed, anxious very easily. So this nervous disorder leads him to be more fearful, or leads him to be more, he's frightened of certain things. So this is his disorder. So he speaks about his medical condition when he wants to change the subject. Next MCQ is, which kind of poem is Laugh and Be Merry? Now you have to analyze this poem whether it's pessimistic, sadistic, optimistic or realistic. Pessimistic means something which is very sad, something which is very gloomy. Sadistic also means the same. Optimistic means full of hope. Realistic means something which seems to be real. Okay, every time you can laugh or every time you can be merry. Is it realistic or optimistic? The correct option is optimistic. It focuses on the positive side of the things. Okay. Our next MCQ is, according to the writer Robert Lind, who can distinguish between the song of the thrushes and cuckoos? So in his famous essay, the writer's name is Robert Lind. Okay. So he wants us to distinguish between who can distinguish between the song of thrushes and cuckoos. 4 options are given. First option is he himself, almost everyone, about 10% of the population, and no one. Pleasures of Ignorance is the title of the essay which is written by Robert Lind. And the correct option is about 10% of the population can distinguish between the song of thrushes and that of cuckoos. Okay. Moving over to the next MCQ, how can ignorance give us pleasure? 4 options are, the first one is, it gives us the pleasure of learning all our lives. It gives us the pleasure of being utterly stupid. It allows us not to take responsibilities of ourselves. It doesn't give us any pleasure at all. And the correct option is, it gives us the pleasure of learning all our lives. That means we can learn the things. If we ignore something, that we can still be learner all throughout our lives. Okay, so we can still be called a student throughout our lives. The best part of our ignorance is this. Moving to the 14th MCQ. What's the central idea of the poem Two Daffodils? Beautiful poem, Two Daffodils. The central idea, you have to, in order to get the central idea, you have to take a look at this MCQ. The first one is, first option is the word is beautiful. Second is love is splendid. Third one is we must try to use the short time. And fourth one is all of the above. And the correct option is all of the above. Because Two Daffodils highlights all these 3 themes. It highlights that the world is beautiful. It also highlights that love is splendid. It also highlights that we must try to use the short time of our lives and we should live the most of it. And all these 3 options are correct. So all of the above, this is the correct option for this question. And my last MCQ is, who is the poet of the poem Two Daffodils? I have given 4 options here. Is it Robert Herrick? Is it Robert Frost? Raymond Roussel? Thomas Nash? What do you think should be the correct option? I hope you might have guessed it correctly. And the correct option is Robert Herrick. Yes. So there, students, we have completed a quick recap of all the 15 questions. Please remember, these 15 MCQs are based on your second semester for additional English. So thanks for listening to this video.